That's me. So I thank you for the invitation to attend the PEROSH scientific meeting. As part of the Sheffield group, we are very envious of the possibility conferred by the to collaborate when you are part of a parish and you're part of your parish institution. So we're pleased to be here and to hear about your wonderful work. Of course, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to tackle this. Then I thank you. I thank the parish for having the opportunity to present this. You know, when I was invited, I was very excited to talk about this. Further I went down, and telling myself, what did I get myself into? So, let's. I also want to thank. It's not written, but I haven't. I had the help of Benedict NIOSH, which works at IRSST in all the gathering helped me provide with you will see some slides, and she helped me with all of this data collection and data analysis. So what did I do?
We will find out.
Okay.
There we go.
Again. Which one do I press?
Again.
Oh, okay. So that's the. I'm sure you've seen and heard a lot about the numerous attacks. It's in French, most of them, but I'm sure you heard of that. The attacks of the new U.S. administration and what they have done and made on universities, research institutions, CDC, APA, and of course NIOSH. We will briefly review what is now happening to NIOSH, but we don't have any specifics of what's going to happen to it. And after that, we will look a bit more into the scientific contribution NIOSH has done to the field. We will do that in comparison with NIOSH institution, mainly where about all of us are here in this room. And we will finish with, can we learn any lesson of that? Maybe I will call it that madness. So what is now happening to NIOSH? Well, we're in the U.S. We are now looking at budget 2026. The health department has said we will cut them by 80%, but the Senate opposed that and recommends full funding for NIOSH. So there's hope, and the Houses of Representatives normally will get and decide which budget will be which budget NIOSH will have for next year. What if NIOSH disappeared? What is the weight of NIOSH in OSH scientific production? Among OSH Research Institute, in the past 10 years, it's about 30% of all the work published in the world is from NIOSH. It's a powerhouse of scientific production. Now, what was the OSH Research Institution included in the previous and in the next slides are those that are at the left-hand side, and those who were not found or not, related solely to OSH were excluded. So that's why I'm comparing NIOSH to. What you see now, it's all the scientific production, but linked to the Overton basis. There you see all the the citation made by all of those countries, policy documents of those countries, and which one of the institutions they cite the most, which scientific production, scientific article they cite the most, and it's NIOSH and FEO. Those are the two main institutions that are cited by, and I will tell you, and then you will see. But the good news is, well, many countries, they dig in every agency scientific work, mostly. So when the paper is out there, it's likely to be seen from many countries. Now you see who is which country is citing our work, and by what proportion. And what you see is that mainly it's international organization, USA and AU, who cites policy in their policy documents the scientific work that we do. I have if you want to dig into that after, we can have a discussion. But this what is concerning is maybe the USA over there. This is I like those pictures, those views. Benedict proposed to me a lot of those things, and this one was the prettiest by far. So you can see there's 14 big clusters within IRSST Scientific when we look at IRSST research institutions. It's not like researchers, it's, when you link our production by this is not related to researchers per se, it's very what you can link to institutes. Of course, this is very intuitive. The node, each node represents an institution. Closer the nodes, closer the relationship. And the size reflects the number of articles. The colors, everything that's in the same color represents the cluster of collaboration where you're closely collaborators, and the lines are co-authored scientific production by institution. If you have 20 researchers collaborating with 20, it's not 20 citations, it's only one. And the thickness represents the strength of the collaboration. I took some pictures. Now you see that NIOSH is a big national cluster, does a lot, but very few international relations. This is HS. You will see your institution. Because I said, well, I cannot just show NIOSH and not anybody else. HIC, COSHA, NIOSH, IRSST, Marjorie is not here, INEL, a big one, with a lot of relationship.
It's the big project that creates a lot of external
relations. Yes, but a big contribution as well. This is my institute. What we collaborate with the brown one, which is IWH, but BOA. What is interesting here is BOA collaborates significantly to with one organization that is predominantly in another cluster, mainly NFA, namely NFA, and you can see that. This is IWH, another interesting case, because IWH also collaborates with a lot of organizations that are mainly linked to other clusters. And then you see the strength of the collaboration in the northern countries. Like this is TAMI. This is FEO also. It highlights the same. And NFA, which has the strongest of collaborators within all of the clusters are stemming from NFA, which can relate to 5 different clusters. So can we, I'm getting back to the main question, can we face a similar situation as, what NIOSH is in? NIOSH is a very respected, it's a major contributor of knowledge production in OSH. It does highly relevant policy research work, cited in policy documents in the USA and worldwide. It's very, I would say, the official White House justification is reducing the size of bureaucracy, and that's how they justify the deep financial cuts across the board. And they also, that's another justification, they want to protect the public of disinformation and of left ideologies, and this justifies censorship. It's a highly, of course, polarized political arena. There's a distrust of elites, very strong anti-science movement. There is a very strong science movement as well in the US, of course, and very promoting, there's a lot of disinformation, and, well, the president has his own media, social media channel to do that. To tell you the extent of maybe to what extent the White House goes to go against science, the president in last June, May 23, has how do you say that? I made it a presidential decree saying that we need to restore the gold standard of science. This is a fundamental breach into scientific autonomy, into scientific, where the president tells you what to do and you should comply with that. And this is the gold standard of science is politically it's politically enforced on scientific institutions. And if you can see how it justifies that, it's that over the last 5 years, confidence that scientists act in the best interest of the public has fallen significantly. A majority of researchers in science, technology, engineering, mathematics believe science is facing a reproducibility crisis. I don't know where he takes that, but he's very good at citing those things. So he requires all the agencies to avoid politically motivated distortions. So I think this is something that we should be aware of. I don't think that we, as in our countries, face the same kind of threats to science and science autonomy. I don't think that we're all in that situation. I don't think that it's likely that next year we're going to be all in that situation. But it's certainly a challenge, because I think we all have a very different national landscape regarding to polarization, confidence in the elites, economic and national priorities, role of government in the economy, and public support of research. But we all do face, from time to time, of course, financial constraints and, diverting economic priorities, and we prepare well for that. But we do, and we always have to demonstrate that we optimize the use of public funds that are made available to us. And in the Sheffield Group, we've been talking about that a lot. But I also think that we also face now a science and research crisis, and we could even if we do excellent, efficient, policy relevant, ultimately, if you have no public or broader support, we could not be heard eventually. So I think we have to enhance our public stakeholders. We do want to enhance. I think we would broaden and enhance our public engagement in order to raise confidence in science and research and continuing building trust again, for science. How can we do that? I was pleased to attend Stephen Bonny conference this morning because some of them are really similar. I think we should strengthen international research collaboration efforts. I think it's the way to go. We do have to provide answers to our national realities, but we also, and we see that constantly, that we face very similar challenges. In order to do that, we need to define areas in which we need to combine our efforts and to promote interaction and provide support. I also think that we should share in order to our research infrastructure. I was pleased to see it was in the package, and I think it's a good, it's not easy to do. It's a really difficult task. We cannot invest in other countries. Well, it's something that we face challenges doing that, but I think it's a really important task to tackle. I think we also need to reinforce our ability to evaluate and demonstrate the impact of our work. This is the research to practice path that we need to continue to work on. Maybe it's a good area of international relation, and this is what you talk about this morning, Stephen. I also, and this relates to the science and research kind of crisis that we could be in or might be in, or depending on the climate. I think we should engage with larger audiences on NIOSH and also on science. We're all in that big boat. If you value research, if you value science, we know we can be impacted by, ideologies that say that a fact is not a fact. So I think we need to engage more in those discussions. And do so. We talked about that also. I call it from a research perspective to an expert perspective. When we talk to our colleagues, researchers, we talk in a certain way, we talk about the methodology. I think we owe to develop a way to talk about research, what we know, what we don't know, and what is the possible course of action going forward. And I think our researchers could be our best person to put forward to do that kind of work with the media, and engage largely in the society. And we need training to do that. We need to know how to engage and need to know, but we have to go out of the research project to take a broader perspective on the issues that are at discussion. And I think we also need to recognize and promote our own successes. We don't have a platform where we can see, well, we're good at this and we're good at that. And this is not only a recognition of excellence of the work we do, we should at least recognize the excellence of the work we do. We should also showcase impact throughout these awards. And it's also a good place to be visible as NIOSH research institutions. This is it. Thank you very much.